Good morning, friends. Thanks for coming out to see us here on the homestead. It's a little bit breezy. Okay, there's high wind warnings. It's quite breezy. A little bit chilly, but we got things to do. I got to get back on the weed eating around the building pallets, the ones we keep robin lumber from over there. Make sure the weeds are down. And then I've got to weed eat around the mulch bin and the garden tunnel to prepare us for putting chicken wire around the garden tunnel. So got to get on that. Got a fresh battery in the weed eater. Going to start with the most important first, which is the pallets, and then the garden tunnel. Then if there's any weed eater battery left, we got a couple things that we could do. Finish up around the garage, or whatever. There's always stuff to weed eat. Anyway, I think we should probably get to it. Okay, that does it for the garden area and the building materials pile. I'm going to head back over to the shop real quick. There's a couple of spots I wasn't able to get to yesterday. I'd kind of like to get those real quick, and then we'll go on from there. Alrighty, that takes care of the garage, the garden tunnel, the pallets, the lumber pallets. Now I'm going to go out to the street, and there's a pipe that runs across underneath our property. It's from the house 2 properties over. Well, basically it's a property over because there's this little strip. It's kind of an access way for the property owner behind us. It doesn't get used, but it's there. It's about 20 or 30 feet wide. Anyway, the house to the south of us there, back in the day this used to be one giant piece of property. I don't know how many hundreds of acres, but it got all cut up and the house was on the property. So when they put the septic in for that house, one of the overflow drains they put in actually runs under our property and into the culvert. Now, that's not legal. You can't have a pipe, a septic pipe, even if it's an overflow, going into a culvert, a county culvert. Because that water is all supposed to make its way down and be water for the lake and that kind of stuff. So that's no good. Plus, I don't want it dumping out in front of our property, so I'm going to go weed eat around this pipe. And then when I'm at work on Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to pick up a pipe cap for it. I'm going to cap it off because I don't want somebody just bought the house. If they go to move in, whatever. I don't want that running into the culvert in front of our property. Okay, that should take care of that. Got a bunch of other cleanup that needs to be done in the front. It's supposed to start raining in a couple hours, so we need to get some stuff done before that happens. One of which, I need to run some hoses out to the garden area so that we can fill up that tote out there, so she's got water out there at the garden without having to carry it back and forth. We should have enough garden hose to get there, but we'll find out pretty soon, so I guess I better get on it. Well, I was walking back up toward the RV and the garage and noticed a whole bunch that needs to be weed eated. I'm going to hit it real quick since I still got battery and just clean it up a little bit around the RV. Help keep the ants out and critters, and also it just looks better. Okay, well, that's as good as we're going to get today. Batteries died again. We need a spare battery. I've priced them. They are $169, I think, somewhere in there. Well, for $149, I can buy a cobalt leaf blower, and it comes with the 4-amp-hour battery, the big battery. So it doesn't make any sense to buy just a battery. We need to buy a leaf blower, and we get a free battery with it. We won't use the leaf blower much here, I don't think, but I could be wrong. But that's probably going to have to be on our list if we want more battery power, because we could have one charging while we're using the other one, and it would just make for a lot more weed eating. Yay! Now it's time for me to run the garden hoses out to the garden tunnel and the water tote that we have out there. It's a freshwater tote. It's the one we used to use to fill up the RV, so it's good and clean. It is at the other corner of the property. I'm not sure how many feet that is, but I've got three 100-foot garden hoses, and then I've got a miscellaneous 2 or 3, probably another 100 feet or so in the RV. So I'll go grab that one, bring it this way, we'll hook the second one to it and see how far we get. Okay, it's going to take one more hose. I'll run over there and get it. I'm going to stretch this end out beyond our property here. Then I'm going to go turn it on and let it run while I walk back. The reason for that is this last hose is the hose that we've been using for our gray water tank, which is, you know, shower water and dishwater and that kind of stuff. So there's nothing bad in it. There's no harmful chemicals or anything like that, but might as well let it rinse out a little bit before I put it in the water tote. And I got to get the water tote ready as well. Okay, it's filling up. We're ready to get plumb to the top. We'll shut her off. Okay, water tote is all filled up. Now I just got to put the other hoses away. The third hose I went ahead and left hooked up to the tote. That way Brenda can get water out of it. We don't have a pump out there or anything to pump it out of there, but there's the drain is at the very bottom where the hose screws in. And there's 275 gallons of water sitting on top of that. So that should be enough to push it through that hose, enough for her to fill up her buckets and stuff. We'll see. If that doesn't work, then we're going to have to work out a pump and a battery and a solar panel and that kind of stuff. But either way, we'll get it done. But for now, I got to unhook this hose and coil it up, put it away. Now this isn't a super high dollar hose. It is, quote, a contractor series hose according to Harbor Freight. It's $34.99 for a 100-footer. Does have solid, really nice brass ends on it, heavy duty. So that's nice. But in the cold weather, they're not very flexible. So that is a downside. I guess I need to find or come up or make some kind of big hose reel. That would make it easier. But right now, I don't have one. I'm going to put this hose in the garage, and I'm going to wind the other hose up by the spigot. So there you go. We are inside the RV. I have to empty the refrigerator and freezer and defrost it. The reason is, and I'll show you, there's an excessive ice buildup on the cooling rack in the refrigerator. So I'm going to install a fan that clips to that rack in the refrigerator. It's supposed to keep the air circulated and keep it from freezing up like that. It's also supposed to drop the temperature and make it more efficient. Everything I read says this works, so we'll give it a shot. There you go. You can see that's all frozen up. Those are supposed to be cooling coils. They're cooling, but they're frozen. And if you look up in the freezer, it's all frozen as well. So, definitely have to get it thawed out. I'm going to put some fans on it and see if I can get it thawed out quicker. That way we're not here too late. I should have started this a long time ago today, and I didn't. I was busy doing other things. So, here we go. I'll show you the fan too. Hold on. This is the fan unit that attaches to those to the grill that's all frozen over. Basically, it's just 3 tiny little like computer fans, and it clips on, and then you wire it into the power supply for the dome light, or the refrigerator light, and it has an on-off switch. Pretty cool. Alright, well, it's been 2 hours. I got all the ice out of the freezer, but the refrigerator is still defrosting. There's so much ice on those coils, or fins rather. Anyway, so I'm not going to be able to install today. I was looking at the wiring. It's going to be tricky. I'm going to need a soldering iron and some solder and some heat shrink and that kind of stuff, because I can't get the light housing out of the refrigerator. It's got plastic something that holds it up in there, like, you know, like those plastic rivets that they use on cars and stuff, but these are clear, and I'm not sure what's behind them and whether or not I can just replace them that easy. I don't want to rip the light down and then have all kinds of trouble. And the positive, I'm assuming it's the positive, it's the red wire, and that goes to the switch, is very short. I mean, there's not a lot of play in it, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. The alternative, according to the directions, is to run the wires through the back outside and hook onto a 12-volt power supply outside. I don't think that's a good idea. The thermostat, however, does run through the back, but the grommet's very tiny. I don't want to tear that wire up trying to get the grommet out to make it bigger. So, I don't know. We'll just have to see. It did take a year for it to freeze up this bad. I did buy the fan, though. I would like it to work better and more efficient in the summertime when it's hot. So I will get it installed somehow or another. I'm just going to have to do some research and do some thinking over the next few days before we come back. Anyway, I sure appreciate you watching. God bless you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Leave us a comment. We sure appreciate you. We'll see you next time out on the homestead. God bless you. Bye-bye now.